We've seen all the other players posting videos of basketball. I've heard Uno is pretty popular. What have you been doing to relax?
Yeah, I'm in the Uno squad. So I'm part of the Uno squad, but obviously, I don't know, you haven't probably seen too many pictures of that, but, you know, we all sort of interact together. The camp's really good. I feel like everyone gets on really well, which is obviously another very important factor. And obviously I've got quite a bad wrist, so I haven't been able to join in on the basketball. That's probably why you've not seen me on them pictures, but I'm playing Uno, yeah.
What have you done to your wrist?
I just ruptured the ligaments in across my top of the wrist, but it's not too bad. Not a break, so it's only just my ligaments.
That's good. That's not too bad then. Was there any worry that you might miss the Euros with that?
A little bit at one point, because when I was getting treatment at the club, and then obviously I had a MRI scan on it and whatnot, and then the doc had a little look at it and said he couldn't really see what the problem was, where the main tendon was, or the main ligament, sorry. So then he had to send it to a specialist, and I was a little bit worried then, because, you know, I thought, oh, what if it's the bad one, then maybe I might have to have an operation or something not, but, you know, he didn't even say anything, but I didn't even need that anyway, even if something had happened to it. So I was a little bit panicky, but then obviously the next morning I got the results and it wasn't as bad as they thought. So
good. Well, I'm
fine.
very glad to hear that. We're asking everyone whether they remember their first England call up, and who was the first person that you called to tell?
Yeah, I remember it was when I was at Southampton. I think there was a picture of me actually when I got first told. I think I was a little bit emotional. Obviously I had to ring my mum first. She was very emotional too, as mums are. So yeah, I rang her straight away. My manager at the time was Pochettino. He told me, he pulled me into the office. To be fair, I had no clue. There was obviously talk about it, but you never know until you get that sort of call up, or, you know, the telling of the manager. And he told me, and yeah, very happy, and rang my mum straight away, and, you know, we was all very delighted.
18 years old when you got that. I mean, gosh, has that kind of helped you give advice to some of the younger players on camp, like Jude and Bukayo, perhaps? And what did you learn from that experience?
Yeah, I think so, but I feel like, I don't know, they're young, but they're very experienced, you know, in themselves. And, you know, obviously Jude being 17, I think it's still unbelievable that he's 17. We all say it around training and, you know, in the hotel, that we can't believe that he's 17. You know, we feel like he's clearly a man already. Not just his talent, but, you know, the way he conducts himself around, you know, not just on the pitch but off the pitch. You know, very mature for his age. It's honestly frightening, you know, that he's 17. And even when he come on the other day against Croatia, you know, he was on for 15 minutes. At that age, to be trusted to come on, you know, at that sort of important time of the game, clearly shows how much Gareth thinks of him. And obviously, yeah, Bukayo, another one, you know, a very experienced head, has been a very key part of, you know, Arsenal this season. I think he's probably their main player, you know, in performance-wise. But he's another one like Jude, you know, he's very mature and conducts himself, you know, very well off the pitch, that, you know, you don't really need to, you know, guide them along. I think they've got that, you know, straight path, that they know what they need to do and how to conduct themselves around, you know, the players and the team.
Yeah, they're both so mature. Obviously, in 2014, you were the youngest player in the World Cup. And this is only your second major tournament, which seems crazy to say that. But it must have been a really tough period for you, because you were out for such a long time. How hard did you have to work to get your place back? And do you feel as if maybe 2014 came a little bit early for you?
Yeah, I don't know really. I think obviously I never expected to be going to a World Cup at that age. I think even at the time I was in the squad, and obviously the squad was getting cut, and, you know, I thought I would be part of that, you know, little group that was going to get cut, because, you know, I had the likes of Leighton Baines and of course Ashley Cole there at the time. So I thought, you know, it's just obviously a privilege to be a part of the squad just before they go. But, you know, don't get my hopes up. I didn't think I was going, but obviously then I did. And no, it was obviously a great experience. I think at the age I was quite naive. You know, I didn't really realise how big it actually was to be a part of an England squad going to a World Cup, a major tournament. I think I look back at it now, and at this point of my career, obviously I've grown up a lot and matured a lot, and you know, I really realised how important and, you know, how big the honour is to represent your country at such a major tournament. And you know, it's brilliant. I'm very privileged to be here. I didn't think, you know, if the tournament went ahead when it was supposed to, I don't think I would have been in that squad, if I'm honest, because, you know, at that time I wasn't playing much. Maybe my level of performance wasn't what it has been recently. So, you know, I think I just got to, you know, keep doing what I'm doing at the moment, obviously the right things, and, you know, like I just said, enjoy being a part of this, and, you know, helping your country in a major tournament, no matter what I do.
What have you done to get that form back? Because you've been, you know, obviously in the PFA Team of the Year as well this year. Fantastic performances for Manchester United, but as you say, it was tough before that, and you must know that Jose Mourinho is part of our coverage, and he's talked about the time that you spent together at Manchester United. But what have you been able to do to get yourself to this form to be available for selection?
I don't know. I think, you know, at the start of this season, I sat down with my girlfriend and had a talk about, you know, the coming season and what my realistic targets will have been. You know, and I've always said that one of my main targets, of course, you know, the club is the most important thing during the season, but I think, you know, one of my main targets was to try and get myself back into the England fold. You know, it wasn't whether I play or not, it was just to be involved in the squad again, you know, because I've really missed that. You know, the time I've been out of the squad, I've missed it a lot. You know, and of course you just want to be a part of it again. And, you know, like I said, that was my aim at the start of the season. You know, I pushed myself, you know, in pre-season to try and get as ready as I can. And the main thing for me is to just keep fit. You know, I think I've been very unfortunate with injuries that I picked up, very unlucky injuries. You know, I've had very bad injuries that have kept me out for a long period of time, and I never had that sort of, you know, period where I just kept on playing games and, you know, wasn't picking up little niggles and stuff like that. And I think this season, I might have had a little injury at the start of the season, and that was it really. I've kept fit for most of it, so I think that was another major important part in trying to keep fit and, you know, available for selection whenever I possibly could be.
Yeah, talking of injuries, so gutting for your United teammate Dean Henderson. Have you spoken to him? How is he?
Yeah, a little bit. Of course, I think this is part of, you know, tournaments. You know, I think it's unfortunate that sometimes you pick up injuries at, you know, the wrong times. Of course, unlucky for him, he hasn't probably even picked up an injury all season. And I think, you know, he just gets one now. I'm not sure if it's a bad one or not, but I think maybe the injury has in the period of time. I think, you know, we need people available for selection, you know, as soon as possible. And I think in his case, you know, maybe it could be a week or 2 weeks that he'll be out of action. So I think, yeah, like I said, unfortunate for him, but, you know, the team needs, you know, players available for selection.
Yeah, let's talk Scott McTominay, because Scotland, obviously, the opponents on Friday. Have you spoken much to Scott? Any kind of ribbing going on ahead of this one?
I'll be honest, I haven't spoken to him too much. You know, I've kept contact with, you know, him at Bay, really. I think, you know, obviously we spoke when we was at the club and, you know, had a little bit of banter about it then. But I think, you know, now it's work, and, you know, I probably will not speak to him until maybe after the game, that we might be able to, you know, have a little word or two after it. But, you know, for me, no contact now, just purely professional, really. Just focus on work and what's to come. And, you know, yeah, the game is the most important thing, and, you know, of course he's going to be the opposition, so, you know, we don't want to really speak.
Fair enough. I mean, you've received lots of praise this season, so has he, though. What makes him such a special player?
No, he's been brilliant for us. He's an incredible athlete. I think not just in training, but he always pushes himself to, you know, be at his max, even in the gym. You know, and it shows how, you know, important he is for Man United. I think, you know, in the big games this season, you know, the ones that, you know, the manager needs people to trust. He always plays Scott, and you know, it shows that, of course, like I said, he's a massive part of our team. You know, he drives forward with the ball brilliantly. He's very aggressive, you know, when he's defending. You know, he closes the space good, and you know, like I said it the other day in the press conference. I think, you know, personally, in my view, he was our best player in the final. Obviously, it don't mean much because we didn't win it, but you know, he can be very happy with his performance and what he did for us in that final.
I've got 3 important questions I need to cram in before I know you're going to get taken away. Your former United teammate Romelu Lukaku scored a brace, obviously, in Belgium's opener. Also paid tribute to Christian Eriksen after scoring on Saturday. What was he like as a former teammate, and why do you think it didn't work out for him at United?
I don't know. I think, you know, I loved Rom. A really good guy, amazing guy, unbelievable qualities. You know, I think you've seen in the game the other day what his qualities are. He's so strong, so powerful, so quick. And you know, on his day, people cannot live with him. And I think, you know, his finishing is also unbelievable. Not just left foot, his right foot too is so dangerous, as you know, we've seen. So you know, I think sometimes I can't sort of put a finger on, you know, why it didn't work. You know, stuff like this happens at clubs. You know, sometimes it don't work, even for the best players. But you know, I'm happy to see that he's gone elsewhere, and you know, he's been unbelievable for Inter Milan. You know, this season with the goals he scored. I think he might have even got Player of the Year in their league. So you know, it's great for him, and of course I'm very happy for him because, you know, like I said, he's an amazing guy, and you know, also an unbelievable player.
Yeah, he absolutely is. I just want to talk about Gareth's decision to play Kieran Trippier at left back. When did you find that out, and what were your initial thoughts?
We found out the day before the game. We had a meeting in the morning, and yeah, we was in the meeting, and he obviously named the team. Of course, I think, you know, not just mine but anyone's initial first thoughts when they're not playing in, you know, in a game that everyone wants to play in is obviously disappointed. But you know, even if you're not playing, I think we've still got a role in the team, you know, to train well, train properly, you know, get the lads ready for a very big game, and you know, do whatever's necessary to, you know, play my sort of part in getting them ready for that. And you know, of course, like I said, I think, you know, obviously disappointed. Everyone wants to play, but like I said before, Gareth's got, you know, 11 players he needs to pick from, you know, and of course all I can do is train well, train hard, and you know, see what Gareth does in the next game. But you know, that's the only thing I could do: keep smiling, keep enjoying it, and you know, do whatever I can to help the team, whether I'm playing or not.
The smile's important, and fingers crossed for you for Scotland. If England win the Euros, Darren Bent said he'll dye his hair blonde. Declan Rice said he'd have his first beer, as did Jadon Sancho. So what first will you do if England win the Euros?
I might have to have a think about this. I'm trying to think. What's the... I don't know, it's hard. I'm trying to think of like a first thing that I could do, but I feel like I've done quite a lot. And I can't really do anything with my hair, because I ain't got much anymore. I don't know, I actually don't know, but I think one of my mates has never had a drink. So I think if we won the Euros, I think I could maybe persuade him to have a drink for me. So I think that will probably have to be what the first thing, you know.
Would you be as brave as Kyle Walker, who basically said that he's going to let talkSPORT decide what he does?
Yeah, go on, I'll do that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll let you decide what I do, yeah.
The listeners or us, talkSPORT as a whole? This could go badly wrong, Luke, you know that?
I don't care. If we won the Euros, I'll do whatever. So whatever the listeners or you lot wanna say, I'll do.
Absolutely.
As long as it's, you know, as long as it's sensible, not something crazy, but I'll do it.
You've already put that caveat in very quickly as I was wrapping you. Thank you. Honestly, that was great. Thank you very much, Luke. Appreciate that.